Hello everybody, it's Lady Shatana, and welcome back to another one of my Minecolonies guides videos. Today we are talking about the Gatehouse, one of the newest things that you can do with your colony, and we've got some tips, some tricks, how to make them and how to use them, and hopefully this will make your Gatehouse journey a lot easier. So we're starting with, I've got a couple of example colonies that we're going to be using to set up the system as examples. Obviously you wouldn't normally put your colonies so close together, but it will make sense why I did it this way. This particular piece here is the Nordic Gatehouse. I think it looks very cool. It is designed to fit into the wall system, which is actually a very important thing and one of our first tips. You definitely want to make sure that your gatehouses are on the edges of your colony, because that will prevent other people from doing connections and leaving random signs all over your colony. So you definitely want to be building this on the edges. I definitely would recommend having at least 2 of these total, one on either end of your colony, and some people will even do 4, one on each side of the colony. So there are a couple of things that you need to make in order to set up the gatehouse system. The first thing is the gatehouse block itself, and the recipe is right here. An iron sword, a bow, your build tool, and the rest is all planks, and these will take any kind of wood for that. So you'll need to make that. And the other thing is the signs themselves that you'll be using to do the connection, and that is the build tool and a series of planks. Again, any plank will do, and those will make the signs that you're going to need to do the actual connections. Not every style currently has a gatehouse in it, and that is because it is up to the style designers to add them, and not every designer has had a chance to do so at this point. If you're not sure if your particular style that you're thinking about has one, you can always use the trick of taking the hut block in your hand and right-clicking in the air. The first time you do it, it will search, so it'll be like searching while it's thinking about it, and then it will actually give you a listing of all the styles that you have installed that have this particular block or this particular schematic in it, and they'll tell you where they are and how large they are. So that is definitely something to be aware of. Gatehouses are generally set up to be 3 levels in design, so just like the tavern where it's just 1, 2, 3. A couple of the styles have set them up to be 5, but for the most part they are a 3 level style item. So as I said, you definitely want to have these at the edges of your colony, and so you'll go ahead and you're going to build that. In order to do connections to another colony, you do have to have it built up to the level 1 at least, so you can't just place down a block and do it while it's still at level 0. You do need to actually build it. So the gatehouse menu looks very similar to most other menus. It does have, all of these bits here for managing workers and things. It does take 2 guards. You can set them as knights or archers, and there are specific places that are designed into them for the guards to stand and patrol. They do not actually patrol outside of their own building. They are static, will stay within this building only. The idea is for them to be, watching, to be the gatehouse guards that are keeping an eye out for the roaming hordes coming in to attack. There is, I think, still some tweaks to be done with how they work, how far they can maybe see, that sort of thing. So I know some people will set up the gatehouses and not actually hire any guards in here, and and some people do, so it's really entirely up to you what you want to do with that. They have the same sort of things of the what the guards are doing, and minimum stocks if you're going to be adding armor and things like that into there. And then here you'll have a list of the colonies that are connected to this particular gatehouse. And you'll have direct connections where you have specifically connected to that one colony, which I'm going to show you in a moment, and then indirect connections, which is something that happens if colonies are connected to more than one. And again, you're going to see that as we take a look at the setup. So what you're going to do is you're going to, as I said, you're going to build this, and then you're going to create yourself some signs. So this is the colony sign. It does have some directions on here as to how you set things up. You need to shift right click them onto the gatehouse block, and then you're going to take a journey between yourself and the colony that you're connecting to and place a sign every 50 blocks along the path to that other colony. So it does take quite a lot of signs, and what I suggest is make more signs than you think you're going to need. So basically kind of figure out the distance between you and the other colony and take like double the amount of signs with you. They're super cheap to make, so it doesn't it doesn't really affect you to have to make too many and have extras. So that's another tip, is always have more signs than you think you're going to need before you start your journey. And of course, you're going to have your normal things. You're going to have your weapons and your armor, and make sure you have enough food and that sort of thing. So the best thing is if you have an actual road between yourself and the other colony, and that is kind of the end game idea that the devs have, is that you will build trade roads in between the colonies. Now that can be problematic if you're on a server with friends and your colonies tend to be very, very distant from each other. But it's doable on a server that I've been playing on recently. We have somebody who went, and that was their whole fun job they gave themselves, was to build these great highways in between the colonies. So it was actually pretty cool and made it very easy to do the connections. So let's take a look at actually setting this up to be able to go and do the connection. So we're going to go up to our gatehouse, and of course you want to start your connection from the gatehouse that is closest to the colony you're going to. If you have more than one set up, you go to the block, and you are going to shift right click your stack onto the thing, and it will give you a notation there that your colony name is on the sign. And when you take a look at the sign, you're going to see that it has a colony ID set there now, which wasn't there before. So this colony that I'm working on here is colony number 1 on the server, and if you have other colonies, you'll see that when you set them up, they are going to have their own individual colony number on there. So that is, so I'm just going to move this here so I don't accidentally mess with it. And so, as I said, make more signs than you think you're going to need. So we're going to go ahead, and so for 50 blocks, you could count every block like this until you reach 50. But what I generally do is I kind of start at where I'm at, and I take a look at the numbers under my my journey map, under my mini map, and I see where I am. And as you can see, that Z is the negative 2174, 2175. So what I'll do is just kind of in my head, I'll take the 74, and I will add 50. So 50 would be to the next, like 200 and what would that be? 24. So 74 to 24. So I'm just going to go, and I would go, and if I go into actually 24, I'd be out there somewhere, but I'm going to be going this way. So I probably would go ahead and I would set my sign along here somewhere. And so you just right click it where you're going to go. It is going to drop it down, and it's going to point to where the last sign is. So in this case, it is the hut block. There's only the one sign, so it's going to point to what it's connected to. And so now we are at X1571, as you see. So again, we're going to be adding 50, and so 71 to 21. So we're going to zoom across here and keep an eye on that number so we don't have to actually add it or count it in our heads. Now I'm going to go just past it here. So we're actually going past 50 blocks, and we're going to try and place a sign down. Now it's past the 50 blocks, so it's going to give us this message here that we're too far from the previous sign or the gatehouse and where the closest sign is. Now that particular message gave us a wild number for the last sign because we haven't actually set any others up properly on this server. So we're going to move down, so just a couple down here. We're going to try again. And there we go. So here we go. It's successfully connected to the last sign over there. And as you see, the sign is actually pointing to the previous sign, and it says it's 91 blocks, which so 91 blocks is from the colony that we're connected to, so the original connection. Okay, so we're going to keep going. So we're at about 20. We're at about 20 here, so it would be what's that, 70. So we're going to go, and we're reaching another corner here. Now what we can do is we want to go this way a bit, and we're just going to have to guess at where we're at the 50 here, because when you go diagonally it's a little bit differently. So we're going to try and place it, and we were good. So again, it's pointing directly at where that last sign is and giving us the distance to the colony itself. And so we're just going to keep doing that. So what are we at? 30, 31, so that'll be 81. So we're going to go and say hello to the sheepies along the way. And 81 would be right there. Now I'm not going to do right there just in case we wanted to continue a road over here, so I'm going to place it on the inside. And again, pointing to that last one, distance. And so here we go. So what are we at? 50, 52. So that'll be 02. So as you can see, I'm just kind of like rounding that next 50. And it seems to work pretty well for that. So here we are. I'm going to toss that right there. Keep going to the next one. Oops. Obviously, I missed putting the stair in properly. Okay, so we were at about 50, right? Is that where we were? Sometimes I will run back. And there we go. Okay, so we're at 00. So we're going to 50. Oops. And I have already given myself permissions in this particular colony. So if you know somebody is going to be doing a connection to your colony, it's a good idea to add them in and give them some permissions to be able to right click and place blocks. Obviously you're going to connect to people that you trust, so it would be a good idea to do that, to allow people to come in and do connections. So this is a fortress setup example colony I've got here, and this is the fortress gatehouse. And again, having it on the very edge of the colony here allows me to come in, and I'm going to shift right click, and we get a message here that we have successfully connected Spruce It Up, that colony, to May the Fortress Be With You, this colony, successfully. And we made sure that we went along the road, and we put our signs in really nice spots so they're not messing up the landscape or anything like that. So now we've got this base connection set up, and when we take a look, we've got neutral for connected colonies here. So now that we've got the connection set between the two colonies, we actually need to ally ourselves between the colonies to be able to teleport. You could just leave it like that so you have a connection, but it's not going to do you any good unless you are allied. So we're just going to pop back over to the original colony. There we go. And there's let's see, there's my gatehouse there. and my town hall. So now what I need to do is, after I've set everything up, I need to go to my town hall. And in my town hall, I'm going to go to alliances. So the one with the question mark there. And I can see here that I have a connection, a neutral connection to May the Fortress be with you. And I can request an alliance. So I've gone ahead and done that. Now, unfortunately, right now there isn't a message that tells you that an alliance has been requested. Hopefully the devs will make an update with that, but I've clicked that and there is an alliance requested. So the target colony, now normally the officers of this particular colony would be the ones to take care of this part of things. Let's get in to the colony, or to where the town hall is. But of course, because this is my example setup, I am an officer in all the colonies. So gonna go take a look at the town hall block here. And when I look here at the alliances, I can see that I have a requested alliance from Spruce It Up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to accept it. And now it shows that I've got an ally here. So in the town hall block, all of your allies are going to show up in this section. So now if I go back to my my gatehouse, I'm just going to pop over here to where I put it. Obviously, being an example, I just tossed down a few buildings to make it all look nice. So when we take a look here, some fun little bits put in by the designers. When I go to the gatehouse itself and go to connected colonies, I actually now can travel back to my allied colony. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to give me a question. Do I really want to travel to Spruce It Up? Yes, I do. And it's going to teleport me right to the gatehouse. So very cool that you can actually do that. Previously, you had to have a town hall, I believe level 3, and be allied in order to teleport between colonies. But now that we've got this system set up, you can teleport right at level 1 once you've run and made those connections. And as I said, eventually there will be more things that will be coming with this connection setup. So that's a direct connection between two close by colonies running properly along a lovely, lovely road. Now, a lot of the times you're not going to have your colonies this close. Like obviously these guys are touching, and you wouldn't usually set your colonies up this close. So I have a third colony that I have set up as an example, a bit further away, still not too far away. It's actually still quite close. We have colonies on my current server that I'm playing on that are 3,000 or 4,000 colonies apart, so or units apart. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to do an example with this one. So I've popped back to this one. Now this is colony number 2, so I'm going to set aside these ones. Now I've already connected this stack of signs, but again, it would be the right click while crouching, and that will set up this colony onto this stack of signs. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make a non-standard connection between these two colonies. Now I don't have a nice road set up, so I'm just gonna run, and I'm going to create a connection that way. Now I could go straight. So what I would probably do is I would see where their gatehouse is, which is right here. I'm going to create myself a waypoint, or whatever you have on your particular setup. We have journey map, which is always a good thing to combine with your mine colonies. So I've set this up just so I have a place to target, and now I could go straight from here. However, I will end up leaving signs across where I'm going to be putting my colony, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to put things where they're going to be in the way, because it is not the easiest thing to fix up the connections and move signs after the fact. So we're going to be smart about it. We know we're going to be running our colony along this way, and so I'm going to kind of run it along the outside. So we're starting at about 70, 78, 79, we're going to say 78, and so I'm going to go about 50, so it's going to be about 28. So I'm going to go run, and just boogie my way this way. And again, so when you get to stuff like this, you're not going to be able to go easily the exact 50 blocks. But as you see, when I did that, I ended up coming into where I know I'm going to be putting colony. So I'm going to go further this way and sort of keep it on the outside, but keeping straight would have me right down in there. So I'm just going to pop it on here, and I'm too far away. So let's pop it on there. You just go a couple of back until you get to where you can actually place one. So we're now connected right there. So I'm going to bebop my way across to that one, which is 550 meters away, which isn't all that far, until we can make the connection. So here we go. Okay, so we're almost at the next colony, and as you can see, we're only 39 blocks away from it. Now, one thing I will mention is if you were to accidentally set another one, say you just accidentally clicked and placed an incorrect sign here, don't take this one down yet. Any that you place down incorrectly, don't move them until after you finish the connection. It is much easier to correct it after the fact than to break it while you're still trying to do the connection. So just leave it there and go ahead and do the next thing. Now, one thing that should happen when you've got your sign in your hand and you point to a sign on the ground, it should show you what the next connection is. As you see, it actually says next in there, and it should show you where the last connection is. And actually, when we take a look over here, we can actually see that white line over there, the white outline. So it will actually show you where the connections are. This was one of the changes that they made while we were testing the system in the last Patreon raid competition. So that was a really, really great change that they did make. So that's just an extra little bit. But anyway, don't remove it yet. Go ahead and finish your connections, then you can go and fix those bits. All right, so we have reached the next gatehouse. This is the Desert Oasis setup, which is pretty cool. Again, making sure that you are adding permissions for anybody that is in the process of setting things up for these kind of connections. So we're going to go up and find the gatehouse, which is right here, and shift right click. We are now successfully connected. May the fortress be with you with this particular beautiful colony, which is sand, rough and gets everywhere is what I named this one. So we're connected, and oh, hello, Mr. Trader. And when we take a look at the connected colonies, it doesn't show a full connection yet because we are not yet in an allied status. So again, that is something that the officers or whoever has the permissions in the colonies are going to have to set up the ally status. It's such a beautiful style, and definitely got a lot more personality when they rebuilt it a couple of years ago. So going to here, going to the alliances, and again we have a neutral setup with May the Fortress be with you. We're going to request that alliance, and again we don't have any sort of indicator that it's been done, but I will be giving that feedback to the devs, and hopefully they'll be able to make that update. And we're going to do the cheat sheet way, and we're going to pop back over to this colony, and we're gonna run inside, and because we're an officer here we can do this, into the town hall block, looking at our alliances, and we have requested an alliance here. We're going to go ahead and accept it, and we are now set up as allies. So this fortress colony has direct connections to both Spruce It Up and Sand, Rough, and Gets Everywhere. So when we take a look at our gatehouse now for this colony, we are going to see the ability to teleport to both of those colonies. So let's go back here, we'll take a look. And connected colony, so direct connections to both of these. So let's go back to this one. And yes, we do want to actually travel there, and that's going to pop us in. Now, one of the things that sometimes where it teleports you isn't always inside, depending on, I'm not quite sure what it does to decide where it's going to put you. So this is why it's really important to make sure that anybody has the ability to open and close your gates and doors and things like that, so that they can actually get in and out of your colony. So let's take a look first of all in the town hall, because we're going to be taking a look at the alliances here to see if this one changed at all when we accepted that alliance. So here we go. So we can see that we have direct connections as an ally to this, but we also have an indirect connection to Spruce It Up. So taking a look, this was so 1, 2, and 3. This is connected to both, but this one has a connection indirectly through the middle one. So that's how you can end up with all of your colonies connected on a server. So everybody takes some time to connect to their neighbors, who connect to their neighbors, etc., etc., and then you end up being able to eventually travel to everybody without having to actually run a connection to every single one of the other colonies. So when we take a look at the connected colonies, we can actually travel over to Spruce It Up, just like this, with that indirect connection. So that's all the big information for setting up gatehouses, how to use them, how to connect them, and a couple of tips that it's going to make it easier for you. I obviously do recommend that if you can, building that really nice road in between your colonies. It does make it a lot easier. And then if somebody else, say, was to build a colony, over here, and then come and connect up with me. But if they wanted to directly connect to here, they can actually stack. So the signs can actually stack on top of each other now to make a nice sign post, which is pretty cool. And most of the time that will become important when you're connecting, like say if there was 3 different colonies over there that were connecting to me, being able to stack them close up to my colony. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I know that the Gatehouse system has been a little confusing for some people, but hopefully this will help you with solving those confusions and making it easy to use the system. And I'm very, very excited to see what the devs have planned for in the future with these setups. And that's something that I'm really, really stoked about. So with that, I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and that we see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye!